And there's Tom. How you doing, first of all?
I'm doing terrific. How are you, Tony?
I'm great. You know a good friend of mine. I think Jeff Howard even spoke of her. Vanessa. She's one of my best friends.
Vanessa Angel.
Yeah.
She's just a wonderful person. That's so cool.
Have you worked with her more than once?
Yes, we've worked together on a few films. I've gotten a chance to act with her in a couple movies, and I've gotten a chance to direct her as well. So yeah, we've had a lot of good times on set, and she's an awesome person.
Yeah, she speaks of her family in Rhode Island very fondly.
Yeah, we love working with her.
Talk to me a little bit about the film The Collective.
Well, The Collective is exciting to me because it's my first ever all-out action movie.
Hmm.
And what I really loved about it, I first got the script from producer Richard Switzer, who I've worked with for many years. He's a great friend of mine. And he sent me the script and he said, "Hey, this is an action movie, but I think you might like it." And I start reading it and I realize why he said that, because it's got some of the elements of some horror, which is a genre that I kind of started in. It's got some crime drama elements, which is another genre that I've made a film or two in. So it kind of had a lot of the ingredients that I like to work with right off the bat. So I was excited to make this movie because it was an action movie, but it wasn't your traditional action movie. And conceptually, it's just really cool. It deals with this group of assassins that run a very clandestine operation, and their target are these billionaires that are kind of above the law. So they're almost like these they're like the do-gooders assassins, and what they do is they take out these really terrible people that are involved in all of these heinous human trafficking crimes. So they're the judge, jury, and executioner.
What's the old phrase? Sometimes the best good guys are bad guys.
That's right. You see a little bit of that in The Collective.
What I also noticed about it was it has a great sense of humor in it as well. I mean, running through it, it's the dialogue is so sharp and snappy.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, we had a lot of talented actors that have that kind of natural comedic ability. Don Johnson has this incredible like snarkiness to him in the film, which I really love. And a lot of these action movies, if you go all the way back to the great action films of the '80s, Lethal Weapon, movies like that, they've got these intense, violent scenes, and they've got all this, kind of intensity. However, there's a lot of humor there too.
Yeah, and that's how the writer winks at the audience a little bit, and we kind of know it's a movie, but uh, you cannot have a roller coaster ride without having that little level part before it starts again.
Absolutely. Got to keep them off balance, Tony.
Talk to me a little bit about directing this, because that's got to be quite a job, because you got to know where your cameras are, you got to know where your people are. Do you storyboard everything?
I had a really short period of time to shoot this entire movie. Believe it or not, we shot the whole thing in 15 days.
Wow.
So it was a really breakneck pace. And what I had to do really was just make sure that every single shot in this movie was mapped out in my head before I got to set. Myself and my director of photography, Alonzo, spent a lot of time in prep over the phone, having various meeting, a couple weeks before we shot this thing, and really just had every shot ready to go, so that when we got to set, we weren't standing around figuring out where we're going to put the camera. We kind of just got right into it, because the reality is we just didn't have the time to mess around on set. And this was also the first time that I got a chance to work with a stunt crew in advance. So our stars, our actors, were working with the stunt coordinator and learning all the beats to these complex action sequences well in advance, which was really helpful, because obviously you want it to move quickly, but you want it to be safe too. You don't want anyone actually getting hurt on set performing these stunts. So that was definitely a great chance to prepare like that.
I'm glad you brought up the beats of choreographing the fight scenes and the action scenes, because it is a lot like learning to dance. It's almost ballet.
Yeah, it is. It's all about making sure that it looks incredibly nasty and violent on camera, But then at the end of the scene, nobody's got a broken nose, nobody's busted a jaw. We don't have to, shut down production for a couple weeks because someone get injured. My favorite person, you don't want to play favorites as a director. You never want to do that.
Oh, sure.
But for me, it was so much fun watching Mercedes Varnado, also known as Mercedes Monet, who is by far on a short list of maybe one of the best, if one of the top 5, if not the best female professional wrestlers in the world. Yeah. And really that whole game is about making it look violent, but keeping it safe so nobody gets injured long term. So watching Mercedes come in and learn this fight choreography and then just kind of like sit back, watch the performers do it, learn all the beats, and then boom, just be like, okay, I got that. Yeah. She was incredible. And I think that fans are really going to love to see what she brings to this movie, because she's just, again, an incredible athlete. And it's really cool to see that.
Well, she's also a wonderful actress too, because, coming from that world of, the wrestling and all that, you've got to learn acting.
Yeah, there's a lot of charisma that goes with, being able to kind of manipulate an audience. You got tens of thousands of people watching you do your thing. So I always say the psychology of a wrestling match is not very different than the psychology of any fight you see in a movie. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. The good guy is going to get the better of the bad guy, and then eventually the bad guy is going to be getting the better of the good guy, and at some point the balance may turn. So like all those elements in wrestling really translate well to this action movie genre.
In our final moments that we have, I have 2 last questions. One is, what do you think audiences are going to take away from the film?
I think this is a movie that you can really just put on and kind of escape, have some fun, forget about whatever was going on in your day, and just watch a really good old-fashioned action movie that doesn't get bogged down with too many extraneous subplots. There's no romance. It's not that cliche formulaic, gotta save the girl at the end. It's all just kind of fresh action that just keeps coming the whole time. And I think that at the same time, although it is just a movie, let's not forget that, some of these heinous things really do happen in real life. I mean, you've got the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world, people who are seemingly above the law and can just do these awful things. It might make people think like maybe we need to pay a little bit more attention to, a lot of human trafficking issues that happen right in this country.
And finally, was there any consternation in working with Don Johnson? Here's a guy who is a director, producer, all of those things. I mean, I know he's a great guy to work with. I've worked with him in the past as well, but stepping onto a stage with him has got to be a little disconcerting.
Well, I'll tell you what, fortunately for me, this was my second time working with Don. I made a movie called Vault with Don in 2019. And I was a little intimidated, working with him for the first time. And, you want to make sure that you respect his space, but at the same time, you want to give him your input on the scene. But we had a great experience, and Vault was a great movie. So this time it was nice. It was like all hugs. Hey, Don, good to see you again. And we just kind of got right into it. It's really nice. You'd be surprised like how quickly you can build a rapport with someone from one movie to another, where that second time working together, it's really smooth. So I enjoyed working with Don, and I think that his fans are really going to like this movie because, like I said, yeah, he's going to deliver all that Don Johnson steeliness, and he's got this kind of tough demeanor to him. But at the same time, he's going to make you laugh too, and I think we love Don
Johnson a lot. Tom, thank you so much for your time. I want to talk with you longer. Let's get together sometime and do an extended interview.
That would be terrific. You can reach out to me anytime. I don't know if you're on Instagram, but follow me at Tom DeNucci and shoot me a message.
I'll have Vanessa call you. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.